Hi there, my name's Dan Smith. I am Managing Director of Good Management Group, an ESG and sustainability consultancy, and also Managing Director of Student Housing Consultancy, working with investors, operators and suppliers into the student housing industry. Operational real estate for me is anything that has an element of service attached to it within real estate. It's great for my business because that's its prime resource in terms of student housing consultancy. Ultimately, I work with operators and investors, trying to sort of sit between the two of them, helping investors understand what the operators of that real estate really need and want from them, and vice versa. So there are still some misunderstandings about operational real estate, and I think primarily that is around the management fees at the moment. There is a real misconception that investors can expect exemplary service from operators when they're paying a very low management fee. It is not that easy to run these assets on the management fees that are being paid by the investors at the moment. That's not to say that that's being dictated by the investors. Some of this is also from the operators themselves, trying to win business, trying to be aggressive on the business development side of things. I'm trying to educate both sides to help explain that if we have the right management fees and the right incentives for operational real estate operators, it's going to make everybody's lives better. I don't think that operational real estate is a cyclical part of the real estate industry anymore. I think it's very much here to stay, it's mainstream, and there is more and more understanding between investors and operators of that real estate and the asset teams, etc. And I think that will continue. I think the landlord and tenant relationship has been positively impacted by operational real estate in terms of professionalising it. I think you're seeing a lot more of a focus on professional certifications, qualifications, various different membership and association bodies that are really trying to drive best practice through operational real estate. My panel is on ESG within operational real estate, and it's a really interesting issue at the moment because you have vertically integrated operational real estate investors, developers, operators, and then you have the third-party operators as well who don't own their buildings. So my business typically works with owner-operators and third-party operators, and therefore they have very different needs. So what we're trying to do on my panel is to cut through that, explain exactly how a third-party management operator can improve the ESG of their assets, but also of their company, without actually having to outlay the investment. It's how you pitch it to the investor or the owner of the building, the landlord. And on the vertically integrated side, it's cutting through the complications of either being a small business, a family-owned business, or an absolute behemoth. We work with a £22 billion real estate behemoth. So it's really just making sure that we can help each of those areas of operational real estate to understand what their options are when it comes to ESG, marrying that against their business plan and understanding that there is still a focus on the bottom line, of course. I think the biggest we're all in agreement on the panel about the need for action. And I think previously there's been a real focus on reporting, making sure that you've got nice dashboards, pretty dashboards. All of the software that we see is geared around that. What do investors want to see? Is this a nice enough pie chart for them? Will it, effectively get them investment? Will it go past IC? And what we want to see is action. Like, we're all quite tired of seeing the lovely, fluffy ESG reports that everyone else is producing that we've seen so far, and there are some really good ones, but what we really want to see is action. So how can you make sure that you understand where you sit right now, what's your current ESG performance, and then how can you turn that into actions that are going to make a positive difference on either the environmental, the social, or the government side of things. This event is really important for operational real estate. We tend to operate in silos between PBSA, BTR, co-living, later living, healthcare, hospitality, hotels, whatever it might be. There's a real focus on, right, how's our sector doing? Well, actually, why don't we look across all sectors for best practice? And so I think that's where OpRe comes in really, really well to make sure that we aren't operating in those silos and that we can share best practice across industries.